Israeli politics is something dynamic that strives and changes constantly. No one can predict it, no polls or reporters or interpreter or political activist.
You're listening to Inside Israel Today with Gil Hoffman on the Land of Israel Network.
Hello and welcome to Inside Israel Today, where we are recording live from Gideon Sa'ar's rally here in the city of Or Yehuda, which is the largest anti-Netanyahu rally in Likud in a full generation, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very big deal that there are so many people inside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party who are supporting another candidate, who essentially are saying that time's up for Netanyahu and they want him to go home. The room is already packed half an hour before it's starting. There's a lot of positive atmosphere in here. We are going to try to talk to some people here who are willing to admit that they are indeed supporting Gideon Sa'ar and not Netanyahu, the leader of their party for most of the last 20 years. So we are in line here to speak to member of Knesset Michal Shir, who is one of the strongest supporters of Gideon Sa'ar.
And Giti, it's new Mercedes.
Hello, Gil Hoffman from the Jerusalem Post.
Hello, how are you?
Is this event an anti-Netanyahu event or just a pro-Gideon Sa'ar event?
Not at all. This convention is first and foremost a democratic party for the Likud party. We are a democratic party. We're a primary party, and we are so proud of it. And I'm very happy that we are in this situation where an election is being held. And of course, we are here to support Gideon Sa'ar in these elections.
Can he win? Can he beat the man who's been prime minister for so long?
It's an extremely close match, and I think it's the first time in 20 years that you have a person such as Gideon Sa'ar, who is, if we can see the polls, are in the last poll in Israel Hayom, the newspaper, you could see 31 to 31 made it the same
number of seats.
Numbers of seats, exactly. When the bloc, Gideon Sa'ar of the right-wing bloc, is higher with Gideon Sa'ar than with Benjamin Netanyahu. And that means that it's a very, very close match. But we should remember that the people who are going to vote are the members of the Likud party. So if we are having members of the Likud party who are listening to this broadcast, first and foremost, just go and vote, because we need you. It's a very close match, and we can make history and save the Likud in these next elections and actually win and
form a government. And have no more general elections.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Michal Shir, member of Knesset.
Thank you.
We are afraid that if it's going to lose, not only the party is going to lose for many years, we will be in a very big problem if Netanyahu is going to win again.
He can't win, he can't form a government?
Even though he can win, we are looking now for the good of the party. All the branches of the party are dead. All our principles are dead. Everything is for the surviving of Netanyahu. So the question is, what is the benefit of the Likud party for Netanyahu?
Got it. What's your name?
Ovid Kraus, Ovedkraus.
Nice to meet you, Ovid.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we are going around here at this Gideon Sa'ar rally here in Or Yehuda, talking to people who have come out for this event, Hi, Yehuda.
How are you?
I'm doing good. We're here on the Land of Israel Network.
I love
before
the color of your microphone.
It's radio.
Redhead radio.
They can't see it, but
redhead radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yehudah Glick, former member of Knesset, here with his very red beard, and he likes the red fuzzy thing on top of the microphone. So why is it important that Gideon Sa'ar and not Benjamin Netanyahu become leader of Likud?
First of all, everybody that's here is part of the Likud and supports the Prime Minister, and we hope that the indictment will come to court and that he will turn out to be totally 100% innocent. But right now, in a political world, sometimes political world can be very cruel. But right now, at this point, where Yisrael Beitenu and Kachol Lavan, blue and white, are refusing to sit with Netanyahu, there's a very risky situation that if he wins the elections and he goes to elections where he's going to take us with him to the opposition. Because I think most people in this country are quite insisting there won't be a fourth election. And therefore, they're going to find some way. Either they're going to break up the 55 bloc, or they're going to find some other way, and Likud will be left in the opposition.
So Netanyahu can't form a government and Gideon Sa'ar can?
Netanyahu so far has tried, and he can't. I think Gideon Sa'ar is coming with a totally different attitude. He's an attitude of a very dignified person. He's a person who his style of leadership is totally different. And I think that it'll be much easier for him to be connected and to make a form of government, a unity government, or a right-wing government. I think he has a greater chances. And so far, the polls in the last few days have shown it again and again that with Gideon Sa'ar, the head of the Likud, the right has a stronger side. And therefore, even coming in a unity government, the right will be more represented.
And you're not worried that you're ending your political future by being at an anti-Netanyahu event in Likud? He's smiling, ladies and gentlemen. He's even laughing.
I never was obsessive in anything in politics. I'm enjoying it now, not being in the Knesset. If I go back to the Knesset, I'll probably enjoy that also. But the most important thing right now is really the state of Israel. But that sounds a little...
No, we believe you. You're honest.
The second thing I want to say is that politics is a long term. Even if Gideon Sa'ar loses this time, if he manages to get like a good 35-40%, I think that will stable his position as the following leader of the Likud.
Last question. Next race, if it's Yuli Edelstein against Gideon Sa'ar, who do you support?
Tough question.
Okay. You don't have to answer.
I don't know. We'll see the situation then. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you for coming here on the Land of Israel Network. So we are moving our way through this banquet hall packed with people, passing through throngs of people here at this event. Chaim Katz has arrived here. His English is not so good or we would stop him. The head of the Likud Central Committee. It's a very big deal that he's come. He's a powerful man inside the Likud, controls thousands of Likud members, hundreds of Likud Central Committee members. And here we have Professor Emmanuel Navon, who is a professor at the
Tel Aviv University and IDC.
Okay, and he has been a Likud member for many years now, and he is supporting Gideon Sa'ar. Why have you endorsed Gideon Sa'ar for leader of Likud, Professor Emmanuel Navon?
Well, first of all, I've been supporting Gideon Sa'ar for many years, having recognized his policy, his courage throughout the years. But I think at this point, he's the only one who's raised to the challenge of not agreeing to Netanyahu being re-elected at the head of Likud. I think it's very clear today that after 2 attempts of failing to form a coalition, and knowing that it's obvious that Netanyahu has absolutely no way of forming a coalition after the upcoming elections, and also the fact that the last time Netanyahu was elected head of Likud was 5 years ago. So I think it's really about time to have an election for the leadership of the party, which, by the way, it's something which is mandatory according to the bylaws of Likud. You need to have an election for the leadership of the party for every Knesset election, which we haven't had for 5 years.
So wearing your political scientist hat, has there been a rally that does not support Netanyahu that is this large in as long as you can remember inside the Likud party?
I think you can tell from what's happening here, what we call in Hebrew the shetach, the territory.
The field.
The field of Likud, that something is really happening, that people are slowly coming out of the woods saying it's okay to criticize Netanyahu.
It is?
Well, that's exactly. So I'm saying, it's starting to happen, like this kind of fear that Netanyahu.
You feel no fear?
I don't care. I mean, I'm just an academic.
You're not going to run for Knesset again?
No, I got it out of my system. I did it once.
Okay.
I'm not doing it again. But even if I was, I think that at the end of the day, I do believe actually that people do appreciate candidates who are authentic and who have courage. And you see all these people around Netanyahu today, all those who don't dare to speak, all those who haven't taken a stance on the candidacy of Sa'ar and Netanyahu. I don't think that at the end of the day they do earn the respect of most voters. I think that voters, and rightly so at the end of the day, respect courage. What you can see on the field today is that people are starting to come out of the woods and say it's okay not to be 100% behind Netanyahu and agreeing with him. It's okay to just say the truth. And the fact that people are showing up and see, I think, in Gideon Sa'ar, the only one so far who's had the guts to stand up and say, look, we need to challenge him, because if he leads Likud again to another election, we won't make it.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Professor Navon. And we're going on here at this exciting event. There are Likud activists coming out of the woodwork who we have not seen at a political event in so many years. We have here, for the Land of Israel Network Radio, we have Mordechai Taub, a longtime Likud activist. Mordechai, why are you here?
To support Gideon.
Why are you supporting Gideon?
It's time for him to lead the Likud, to lead the country.
Okay, and why him and not some of the other people who are not running? Why, aren't you being a little premature in deciding Netanyahu's successor?
You see people for decades, how they function, how they behave in different positions and different jobs. And you come to the conclusion as to who is appropriate to be leader of the country and who you might like as a member of Knesset, but is not appropriate for the leadership.
Knesset Speaker Yuli Edelstein, Foreign Minister Israel Katz, future candidates for Likud leadership, and Gideon Sa'ar, who's just been Education Interior Minister, trumps them.
I'm not going to get into the specifics of each one. Some of them would make worthy candidates, some of them not. The specifics are not appropriate now. There is a choice now about going forward, about the leadership, of who is going to be leading the country in the coming years. And Gideon is the appropriate choice.
Thank you so much for talking to Inside Israel today on the Land of Israel Network. We're going to take a break as we proceed here at the Gideon Sa'ar rally in Or Yehuda.
Hey folks, Yishai Fleischer here, and you might know that I have a show here on the Land of Israel Network, something I'm really proud of, and I want you to join in. This week we're going to talk about the fight between Jacob and Israel. It's a little bit surprising, not Jacob and Esav, but Jacob and Israel, and we're going to be connected to what's really happening here in the Land of Israel. So join me on the Yishai Fleischer show here on the Land of Israel Network, and be part of it wherever you are.
Now we are after the Gideon Sa'ar event. He gave a very passionate speech in which he was very respectful of the Prime Minister. Had more than 1,000 people over here in Or Yehuda in a very impressive event in which he said that if the Likud does not replace Netanyahu, then they will not win the election on March 2nd. That it's a simple choice, either choose him and remain in power, or choose Netanyahu and choose the head of the opposition, giving the 120,000 Likud members a stark choice. Sa'ar received his greatest applause when he mentioned his wife, Geula Evan Sa'ar, who is a veteran anchorwoman who has suspended herself from her work in order to support him. This is very much an uphill battle for Sa'ar. It's very hard to defeat Netanyahu, who not only has been prime minister for years, but also controls the entire Likud apparatus. That makes it very hard. We have here a member of Knesset, Sharren Haskel, from the Likud, who spoke beautifully on stage. What was your impression of the event?
I think it was amazing. There were incredible energies, very important people that came to the support.
Yeah?
It actually gives us a lot of hope to win these elections as well.
Really? You think you could that Sa'ar could defeat the mighty Benjamin Netanyahu?
I think that what the Israeli political system has proven in the last year is that it is absolutely unexpected. No one can predict it. No skarim, polls, or reporters or interpreter or political activists. The Israeli politics is something dynamic that strives and changes constantly. And yes, absolutely, everything is possible in the Israeli political system.
you saw these people, have you ever seen an event like this that is not supporting Netanyahu and Likud get this many people?
I think this has been one of the biggest events that I've seen.
Of any kind?
That is not like Netanyahu or anything like that. I think you could feel, the ambience of the people, the actual people. And you could see there's a lot of love and warmth and support. It was a little bit different.
And lack of fear. These people, you have put your future in jeopardy. You just got bashed in a very nasty way by the Prime Minister's son and on social media.
I don't pay too much attention to that, The important thing is the ideology and how we can promote it. So,
as Gideon said, that those who believe do not fear, right?
Those who believe do not fear. And I think that also, the last 4 years that I've been to the Knesset, I've shown that I'm not afraid of even paying political prices for the things that I believe in. This is why people put my name and sent me to the Knesset to represent them. If I'm not doing that, then what am I doing in the Knesset?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Member of Knesset Sharren Haskel, former border policewoman who fought in combat, so is not afraid now. Border guards. All right. We're going to play a clip from this rally for Gideon Sa'ar of how he was greeted as he came in to this hall here in Or Yehuda. That was a clip of Gideon Sa'ar being greeted with chants of "Here he comes, Mr. Prime Minister," the next Prime Minister, Gideon Sa'ar. This has been Gil Hoffman reporting from Or Yehuda for Inside Israel Today here on the Land of Israel Network on thelandofisrael.com. Thank you for tuning in to the show, and we will continue to be taking you behind the scenes at political events on the campaign trail between now and the 2nd of March, when we are unfortunately going to another annoying and completely unnecessary election. Stay tuned till next week here on the Land of Israel Network on thelandofisrael.com.
We must always take sides, says Elie Wiesel. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. And if you've been listening for any time at all, then you know I'm not one to keep silent. Because I'm Rav Mike Feuer, and this is The Jewish Story.
Join Rav Mike Feuer for the best Jewish history podcast, The Jewish Story, on the Land of Israel Network at thelandofisrael.com.